بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. For a long time I've been thinking of doing some sort of reminders, and something or other has been going on. We've been trying to put different masail, different ahadith up for the community members to hopefully benefit. Allah give us tawfiq to benefit from our Ramadan. Now as we enter into the last 10 days. As of Maghrib time tonight, we're in the last Ashara of Ramadan, the last 10 days of Ramadan. 2/3 has passed us already. It seems just like yesterday that we started, and how were we able to use our time? The different objectives that we were supposed to achieve during this month of Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may attain taqwa. Did we achieve our taqwa? To some extent, maybe plus or minus. We were supposed to use our time properly. This was a time that, although we were locked down and we weren't able to see each other, this was a time to really, advance and really get, really work on our nearness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, on our personal connection with Allah. Always there's these two aspects in the month of Ramadan. One is our own ibadah, which we do in the privacy of our homes. We do, when no one else is watching. And then there are those communal aspects like praying tarawih and iftar, with our friends and our families. But really, we should be focusing on gaining nearness. How much were we able to do this? One time Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was in the masjid. He had made i'tikaf. He had stayed in seclusion in the masjid for the second 10 days of Ramadan. And then he said that whoever, he pretty much told Sahaba that whoever is able, they should stay with him for the last 10 days, seeking Laylatul Qadr. So Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, will occur during these last 10 nights, and generally amongst the odd nights. The odd nights. So this is a time that we should be really pushing ourselves. Whatever we were not able to achieve during the month so far, we have a bit left. As we learn from our professional hockey players in the NHL, or as we learn from Kawhi last NBA season, when the time is coming up now, it's time really to start pushing. Pull out the goalie, put on the sixth player. Really try to get that one up during these final moments. We have these last 10 days. So now let's start exerting ourselves. And trust me, we feel lazy sometimes. I'm probably the most guilty of it. But this is the time that we cannot let it just slip by. We have to capitalize on it. Who knows if we'll be alive till next Ramadan? We're hopeful, but we do not know. There's no guarantees. And Allah has taught us this year that there are absolutely no guarantees to anything. How many people we would have just expected them to be here with us, but they're not. We expect to think we're young, we're strong, but we don't know where we're going to be next year. So let's make the most that we can out of these last couple of days. One thing is i'tikaf. Now i'tikaf is in the masajid. The men perform the i'tikaf in the masajid. The women, they perform i'tikaf at home. So there's a special designated area. This is something which is established in the tradition of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith, that there is an area in the house which is designated for prayer, which is designated for worship. And generally this is the area where the woman will make her i'tikaf. Now in this time the man would, whoever else there is, can take care of the domestic affairs of the house. Because especially during these times, now the woman is fulfilling the obligation which the man is unable to fulfill. Normally the man will make i'tikaf in the masjid, and that the kifaya, that minimal amount which is needed to be done to absolve the entire locality, is covered. But now the man is unable, generally in our areas, because we do not have access to the masajid. So the woman will be, she'll be bearing the burden of the community. So we should try to facilitate for them. So i'tikaf is one thing. Now let's try to exert ourselves in our tilawat, recitation of the Quran. Some amount we can also give for understanding too, and we should always be trying to learn and educate ourselves, understand the Quran. But this is really the time for recitation of the Quran. So let's try to recite as much as possible. And our Qiyam al-Layl, our Tahajjud Salat, let's not be lax about that. Laylatul Qadr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Laylatul Qadri khayrum min alfi shahr. It's better than 1,000 months. So one night, 6-7 hours. And on these 7-8 hours, whatever it might be, a person gets the reward, which is in excess of 83 years. And Allah says, khayrum min, it is better than. How much better? A person, he speaks to his own, at his own capacity. A person who understands that, who is a businessman, he'll talk about tens, twenties, $100,000. Person who's running a multinational corporation, he's not even going to look at $1 million. He's going to say, talk about 10 million, then we start talking. Otherwise, it doesn't interest me. When Allah says, Laylatul Qadri khayrum min alfi shahr, then Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. That's at his capacity. It's his standard. So how much better it is, we do not know, but we know that it is better. So let's not lose out on that. And let's try to make the best of it. Let's make the best of what we have. One hadith, it comes that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he made la'an against that person. He said, woe to that person upon whom Ramadan comes, but he does not attain Allah's forgiveness. So there's nothing that, Allah will not forgive. There's a person even, he makes tawbah from anything. Allah says in the Quran that if someone, makes shirk, then this is something that Allah will not forgive. But if a person even makes this shirk in this world and he recognizes that and he makes tawbah, then, Allah is, if a person leaves this world, then there's something that Allah will not forgive that. But so long as we're alive, the doors of tawbah are open for us. So let's capitalize on that. Let's capitalize on this opportunity for tawbah, no matter what we've done. Allah's mercy, Allah's forgiveness is greater than our faults. So let's attain Allah's forgiveness. Let's capitalize on this time and use these last 10 days in the best way possible. And Allah give me first and all of us the tawfiq to bring this into our lives and to use this time of Ramadan in the most beneficial way possible. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursalin, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.